Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dino Plays Modded Minecraft. This is Dino. Thanks for joining me. In the previous episode, we were setting up our ME system, kind of got the basics of that done, and that was pretty much it because that took a fair amount of time. Been doing a little bit off camera just to kind of get us prepared for this episode and kind of make some more progress that isn't quite so tedious to record. For example, just again, kind of AFKing a little bit in our zombie spawner to kind of start collecting liquid XP. Did a little bit of that because that's pretty time consuming and pretty tedious. Definitely want to do some hunting to get XP as well, but we're going to need quite a bit of XP to start enchanting some of our future items related to like Quarry Plus and things like that. So did a little bit of that, and then also let's go take a look at our ME system. I did a little bit more there. In particular, I crafted, as you can see, some of our drives that we need for our ME drive as well as our ME chest, right? So here we got a 4K drive, and I think these ones are 4K as well. No, these are 16K. Yeah, exactly. I think 4K probably would have worked. I would probably only need one or two of the 16Ks for, you know, dirt and cobblestone and stuff that are of a much larger quantity. Because you can see, for example, on this drive, I'm already using 63 of the 63 types of blocks that we can store in there. And yet I'm only using 1221 of 16K. So 16K is kind of an overkill unless you have large quantities of a single item like dirt and cobblestone, sand, stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of got a little carried away with these. For a prior experience, I thought we sort of needed them. I've sort of learned a bit since then, but I temporarily had forgotten. So anyway, that's all fine. I'll just craft 4Ks for the rest of these. So yeah, so got 4/5 of those drives created, which allowed me to then move quite a few items from our storage system down here. And I'm not inclined to move all of it because the sorting system here works really effectively. And obviously in these barrels, you can store large quantities of these as well. If I start collecting more or feel we need more, I can then start adding the additional quantities to our ME system, but right now this is working pretty effectively. Future stuff may go into the ME system, but I'm not going to move this. I think what I'm going to do instead is put an ME interface over here into the sorting system, because I think all I need to do, since the sorting system sort of behaves like one big system, I think, I'm not completely sure. I'll have to you know, experiment with that, but I think it does. And if I put an ME interface here, then I think that'll give us access to everything in this sorting system here. So I'm going to try that anyways, and hopefully it'll work as I think it does. And if not, well, then I'll move it all over, I guess, if I have to. Pardon me, the phone's ringing. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I apologize for the interruption. I really can't turn my phone off though, because if it's an important call that I need to take, then I need to take it. So anyway, so yeah, so that's what I'm going to do, and that's something we're going to do in this episode. But what I wanted to start with though was to sort of show you what I've done back here. If you take a look, I've been busy back here, right? I moved the two other what are those part of? I'm spacing. These guys, applied energistics. Yeah, they're AE components. I moved the charger and the inscriber that we had down in our basement down there, and I moved them up here. I originally had placed them over here. I don't remember if I showed you that in the previous episode or not, but they were over here. And the power came down and connected there. But in crafting our drives, remember I was kind of quote-unquote complaining about the multi-step processes required to craft all of our AE stuff. I wasn't really complaining. It's part of the game. I realize that. I am a little complaining only in that it's time-consuming. And when you don't think you have a whole lot of time to spend on it and it takes a lot of time, that's a little frustrating. So you can't blame it on the mod. It's just the way it is. So I was doing more of that, right? I was having to craft these drives, and it's a multi-step process, and I needed 5 of them, so that took a long time. I did that off camera. So there you go. They're already ready to go. But it got me deciding to go ahead and automate this inscriber process. And I looked at some YouTube videos on it and found a couple good ones, found a couple bad ones. But the good ones were good. So I went ahead and modeled this layout on one of those good ones that I saw on YouTube. And I really appreciate, I can't remember who it was, but I really appreciate the guy that outlined this approach. If I can find it again, I'll put a link to it below for those of you that might want to do something similar in your builds. But this is a pretty straightforward approach. It's really not bad. It's a good one. So added our controller because we're going to wind up with more than 7 7 addressable items on a channel, or 7 channels, I guess, on a side. So you need a controller in order to be able to have more than 7 channels. And I might be using the term wrong. This might actually be 1 channel with seven items on it. But anyway, you can only have 7 items on one of these lines. So, and in this case, I think we sort of maxed it out. So I needed to go down below as well. So you'll see this line actually connects to the bottom of our controller. And then this top then goes to this item. Because when I added this item to this line, I couldn't see it. So, and as soon as I added it to its own side of the controller, which I think then gives you another channel, or another 7 channels, whatever that is, then it worked fine. So that's pretty cool. So what we have here is our 4 subscribers, 4 inscribers, pardon me, and each inscriber contains one of our presses. And there's 4 different presses that you can have in the game, right? There's silicon, engineering, let's make sure I get it right, logic, and calculation. So those are the 4 presses. And each press goes into each of these inscribers. And the reason for that is because you need a specific press in order to craft certain circuits. And you can't just take them in and out. For some reason, it just doesn't work that way. So they need to kind of be dedicated to a specific inscriber. But the reason those work, though, is because on the back we have these interfaces, and the interface defines the encoding pattern that we can apply to using that particular press. And in this case, that was a silicon press, and so we can create or craft an encoded pattern for silicon. So this is our in silicon pattern. And the same is true for this guy. This one has the logic press, and back here we have our pattern to create our logic circuit, right? Because it needs gold. And then the calculation one has its pattern, and it requires Certus quartz. And then the top one is the engineering one, and it requires diamonds. So that's the way that works. So when we request a recipe for a circuit, the recipe knows that this particular inscriber and this particular pattern, crafting pattern, requires silicon. So it will then grab a piece of silicon from our network, our storage network, place it in there, and craft our circuit. And then this over here is an import bus, which then pulls it out of once it's done crafting and places it in our network. So that's the way that those work. And of course they need power, so I'm using Ender-IO conduits for our power, and that takes care of that, right? That creates all of our circuits. Once we have our circuit, if we want to craft, what are those called again? I'm spacing on what they're called. Let's see, is it here? No, it's not here. Is it over here? No, it must be on top. There they are. I couldn't remember where I placed them. The processors, right? So each processor requires a circuit, a piece of redstone, and a silicon press. So the silicon press is down here on the bottom, and I added a crafting card so basically if I request a processor and it creates the associated circuit and then places it here in this subscriber in order to craft the processor, but it doesn't have a silicon press. This upgrade tells it to go ahead and craft a silicon press for us. So basically this unit will, as you can see inside this window, will always have a silicon press and a piece of redstone ready to go when the crafting recipe is requested. So if I request, this calculation processor, which requires Certus quartz will come over here, it'll craft the circuit goes back in the network then sends that item over here to this inscriber, because that's where the recipe for crafting the processor is. It'll plop it in here. We've already got our silicon circuit, our redstone, and it will craft the calculation processor for us, and then pull it out, because we have an is this it? The import bus over here. So then it'll get pulled out. The import bus acts bidirectionally, so it can add and pull out items. And this basically adds, because it's an export bus. And then the interface basically tells it what crafting patterns to apply. So, and then over here is the redstone gets added through this export bus. So that's the way this guy works. Pretty cool, and that is really about it. It took quite a long time to craft and configure properly, because this is all pretty new to me. I've played with the ME network quite a bit, but only just basically to advance, as an advanced storage system. I never really got into more of its advanced capabilities like autocrafting and stuff like that. And I am totally impressed. It is really, really sweet. So if I wanted a processor, I can just type in processor here. You'll notice I don't have any, but I can craft them. So if I want a logic processor right now, even if I don't have the circuit, it knows what's required in order to craft it, because the recipes are provided, right? So it'll go over here, it'll see, oh, this processor needs a circuit, but I don't have one. Let's go ahead and craft one, because I know that I can craft it over here. And then once it's in the network, it'll just send it over here and finish crafting the processor here. So it is really nice. It's got a lot of smarts behind it. I'm really, really impressed. Like, for example, that upgrade, I didn't realize it can do that, but the video I was watching on YouTube actually went into that detail, and I thought, man, that is so sweet. Because again, if you haven't got one of these in stock, even if you've crafted your circuit and you've got your redstone, if you haven't got this, you can't finish the recipe. But if you put in this crafting card, it tells it, well, if you don't have this, create one. In other words, always keep one of these guys in stock, i.e. here in the unit for future crafting purposes. Yeah, it is really cool. So yeah, so that's what I've done back here. It's kind of ugly, because I've never really done this before, like I said. So the new version, AE2 now has these controllers. You sort of had them before, but you didn't have the concept of networks. So this is a network, this is a network. Each side of the controller is a network. And on the network, you can have 7 channels. And so that's why I sort of have two networks over here. I've got one controlling these guys, and then this guy's on a network, and then these guys are on a network. Oh, I should also mention too that to do any kind of auto crafting, you need to have these crafting storage units. Because this is basically your CPU or your logic processor for all of your crafting. So basically, if I want to, if I come over here to craft something, like let's say I want a silicon press, printed silicon press, I can click on this guy, I can specify how many I want, I say next, and then basically you'll see this interface, how similar it was to this guy over here. That's basically what it is. It's basically sending the request to this, like, they call it a crafting storage unit, which I guess it just acts like a computer. It's like a 4K computer with kind of processing logic. And so by having 2 of them, I can kind of do double duty. But basically, when I when I want to craft one of these guys, or let's put in silicon like we were before. When I want to craft one of these guys, I specify the quantity, and this is now that processor, that crafting CPU processor, is sort of showing me what's going to happen. So I'm using 27 bytes of the 4K, as you saw a moment ago, that's available. And basically it's saying I need silicon, and I have 1 available. in order to craft this guy. And because they're not, if I couldn't do it, the piece that's missing would be grayed out. So that way you can sort of tell in the recipe what's missing, and you can either craft it yourself or address it some other way, i.e. maybe it needs diamonds and you're out of diamonds, so then you'd have to go get diamonds. But it's going to look inside your ME network for what's needed for that to craft that recipe, and it'll show you the workflow, or it'll show you what's missing if something is missing. So if I said start right now, it would basically just send that piece of silicon over to the inscriber over there that has that recipe. And I guess I can do it real quick. There's no harm in doing that. Let's go ahead and do it. And say start. And now if you come over here and take a look, you'll see down there on the bottom, it's inside there, it smashed it, and now it's empty. So it sent the silicon over. It already has the press required. So all it needs is a press and silicon, and it'll craft it. And then once it's done crafting, it'll then suck it out and put it in our network. So now if I come over here and look at silicon, you'll see I have a quantity of 1. If I take it out, you'll see I can craft it. See, because I don't have any more. So basically, if I want more of these, I have to craft it. And if I have some, it'll tell you the quantities. So that's really just, I'm just impressed. That's pretty cool. I mean, I realized that the Applied Energistics was an amazing mod, but wow, the deeper I get into it, the more impressed I am. So what I was saying a moment ago is this is kind of a mess because I didn't quite know what I was doing, so I just kind of wanted to make it functional and working, and that's so now I have a big bad mess back here. I'm going to have to clean it up and figure out how to optimally use these networking concepts that AE provides us. This, because basically, other than being each side of this controller being a network interface, you really don't need it out in the open, although it is impressive to look at. I mean, I just love the animation, the graphics. That is so sweet. But I don't know that I need it here, and the cables are now in the way, so I'll have to figure out, see if there's a better way of doing this. You can have as many of these as you want, and you can even put them side by side and make them multi-block. So there's a lot of capability, a lot of functionality here. Oh, and when I was digging out this room over here to start setting stuff up, obviously I made a mess up here on my floor upstairs. I'll have to clean that up. And that's easy to do with Ender.io. I can just put some camouflage paint blocks on here and you won't even know the difference. But I opened up into our storage room for our Liquid XP. So you can see I've been, like I said, AFKing and collecting a lot of Liquid XP. So I've got a ton of it down there. I still need to, create a piping system up above to the floor up above, which is why I crafted it or built it the way I did, because this will be our access area for our Liquid XP, which is right below this floor. And so I need to obviously get to work in here and start setting stuff up to make this our enchanting room. So I'll move our enchanting capability from the basement up here as well, and then I'll just have unlimited access to our Liquid XP down below. And then here's the mess I was talking about from below. So we've got our painting machine right here. Whoop. Right here is our painting machine. So I'll paint us some of these floor blocks, these marble blocks, and put them in here, and it'll hide our mess. I wish I could do that with these guys, these glass cables, but I can't. They don't work that way. I can put micro blocks over these though and hide them, and that works really well. But again, they'll have to be kind of flush to the floor, not above the floor like that. And since this is coming off the top, I can't completely hide it. I probably can do something over here. I'm not completely sure. I believe these have to be connected to the top of these blocks. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that. I think you do. I don't think they can be to the side, so that kind of makes this a little more of a challenge as well. I guess I could make it recessed one block so it's flush to the floor. Anyway, if you've done this stuff before and have a really good way that of managing this that looks nice, let me know, because I don't know what to do here. We'll play with it and figure something out, but anyway, right now I don't know what I'm going to quite do. So the next thing I want to kind of get started with in this episode is I want to, like I said, I want to connect an ME interface to our sorting system down there. And to do that, obviously, I'm going to need to run a tunnel from over there, basically to here, I think. I'm thinking I'll connect it to this side. Mari got a side there, side there, side there. I think, yeah, that's below. Actually, I don't need this on top. I can put it right there. Duh. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Ah, that's cool. So then I won't have anything on the top of the block. That'll be nice. Because I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up, because I am using the bottom already. That's what's going over to the corner there. So I think what I'm going to do here, let's just go down a little bit. Is I'm going to come to this side. So with that said, I'm going to want to go down one more, and then this direction, maybe even another one down, and then go that direction. And no, I'm not supposed to dig down, guys. That wasn't very smart. So yeah, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And I've written this coordinate down. It's Z 1019 X 709. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll get started digging over here. We'll get that tunnel started from this side. So let's see, where do we want? Well, that was kind of a weird. Oh, I didn't realize it would do that. Darn it. It busted off our frame. Oh well, I'll fix that later. We'll just do it this way. And let's go ahead. I don't really know what I'm going to run into. I guess it doesn't really matter. I have every intentions of cleaning down here. There's lots and lots of mobs and tunnels down below our basement here and all over the place. And I'm going to want to get down there really soon anyways and light up those tunnels so that it's not such a big problem with all these mobs around. But don't necessarily have to do that right now. But I think... how do I want to do this? I really want access to that chest there, which is where all of our diamonds and cool good stuffs are. Our emeralds, we don't have many, but we have a few. And I need our ores too. I really need our ores, but we've got like 4 chests just stacked with ores. So I really want access to everything, but I'm trying to figure out if I need multiple ME interfaces over here, how many would I have to deal with? Clearly I'm limited to 7, and I think each ME interface is a channel. So if I connect an ME interface here, it doesn't give me access to everything in this sorting network here, but it only gives me access to the chest that it's connected to, then this isn't going to work as I was hoping it would work. And I'm just trying to figure out, if that's the case, which one do I want access to right away. I suppose I should probably just bite the bullet then and just move everything anyways. But if this will work, there's no reason to have to move it around. Oh, okay, let's just go ahead and get started and see. So why don't we go this way? Let's turn on our direction. And I've got to go to, we're at 977. And I need to go to 1019, right? Yeah, 1019. Yep. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So this is lit up, so it's not a big problem. Let's just go ahead and do this for now. We don't need to be overly concerned with that. We'll put a few torches along the way so we don't get surprises. 1019, right? Yep. That's quite a ways away. And it should be deep enough to where it's not going to be a big problem with any of the other structures around. That's kind of why I'm doing it this way. So that if we need more space or need to wind up digging below some of our other builds above us, this won't pose a problem. Whoa. A little bit of lag. 1019. Okay. Boy, there's a dark area on the map. Yeesh. Not sure what that is. We're inside of it, whatever it is. Must be below us. Must be a little bit below us. Oh man, I'm out of I'm out of torches. And I don't even have any wood. All right, let's run back and get us a little bit of wood. Okay, we've got some more torches now, so we're good to go. Let's get this stuff done here. 117, 118, just 119 here. Okay. And then we go this way to 709. 709. Doesn't seem like it would be very far away, but it is, isn't it? Our base is a pretty good size. Well, when you're doing different builds, you really don't know what you're going to need. So you need to kind of account for space. I hear our nether portal above us. You can hear it humming. 712, 710, 79. And there we are. Sweet. Very good. Okay, so we need, let's go ahead and just go up here because we need cables, ME cables now. And I think we've already got some. Yeah, I should have thought about this. I didn't really think about how many of these Fluix cables we're going to need. Let's go ahead and drop some of this mundane stuff off. All right. I have, so we're probably going to need, I don't know, we're going to need a lot. So let's see what the crafting recipe is for this guy. I don't know if, can I do it this way? Fluix cable. Is it going to actually come up? No, it doesn't. Sometimes it's kind of picky. ME cable. I think we need those quartz cables, I think is what you need. Why is it not coming up? Fluix. Okay, there we go. Kind of weird. Glass cable. Okay. So what do we need here? We need these Fluix crystals, and we need this quartz fiber. I remembered this. And we need a lot of quartz dust, and we need a lot of glass. How much of this do we have? We do have some. That's good. Let's see how much we have, though. Oh, we have 23. That's not bad. Oh, but we need more glass. I don't want to use this clear glass. I like that stuff for building, not for crafting. I just rather use regular glass for crafting. So how much sand do we have? Okay, we got a good amount of sand. I wish we had more. Well, let's just take what we have, and we'll go ahead and put that in the furnace and get that going. And that'll be a good start. I'm going to need to build a better furnace system, obviously. Oh, look at that. Sweet. We've already got a bunch. Forgot we must have put that in there. Do we have any more over here? I've already moved a lot of stuff over from these various chests over here. Not everything, though. And nothing from upstairs. All right, sweet. That helps a lot. So that will, let's clear that out again. And let's go ahead and see how many of these we can make. We have a lot of crystals. I made 34. So let's see how many of these we can craft. Okay, so we're gonna need these first. Let's just make a bunch. Okay, now we're out of dust. And then how many of these can we craft? 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Is that it? Why is that all I can do? Oh, that's funny. Oh, now it's working. Huh. I was confused. Well, we're going to need as much as we can possibly get. So let's just go ahead and run out of these flux crystals. I can make more of those. They're not hard to make. It's just multiple steps again. And gone. Very good. Okay, that's... I guess I can make one more, but that's fine. So we've got 88. Let's see how far this will get us. Right? And this is a little bit of a challenge because it's going to sort of be in my way as I go. But I also want to kind of bury behind myself as I go. I don't want to leave this open. Let's do it this way. Okay, excellent. Oh, is that going to be a problem? See, when you connect to these other channels, it messes up the network. I can't do this. Darn it. All right, that's fine. What all that really means is that I'm going to need to come one over to here and then down. And I guess that's fine. And then that'll go there. And this will go there. Okay, and I can fill this back in now. Is that... Did I just mess up again? I just messed up again. I don't think that connected. Yeah. I gotta be kind of careful. Because if these don't connect right, then they don't work right. There we go. Okay, so let's go a little ways. And then backfill behind so that nothing spawns behind us as we go. 5. So this is going to be a little tedious. So I'll go ahead and break away here and come right back as soon as I see how far we're able to get with the cabling that we have. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, this is how far we were able to get. Not too bad. Pretty much back at the sorting system. I have 5 of the cables left, so it looks like we made exactly the right amount. Awesome. And backfilled the tunnels so no mobs can spawn in there, so we are good to go. What I need to do now though is I need to go get ourselves an ME interface. Didn't do that. So let's go back over here and see if we actually have one already crafted from all that other crafting that I did. No, it doesn't look like I have one. Okay, so ME interface. What's the recipe for that guy? Come on. It takes a minute for this to draw, I've noticed. Might need more, I don't know, more RAM or something. I got a lot of RAM in my computer though. That shouldn't be it. It's probably just the number of mods I have installed. Okay, so what do we need to craft this guy? Oh boy, so we need 2 formation cores, 2 glass, and 4 iron. I wonder if I have any of these cores already crafted. It doesn't look too hard. We can make the processors now quite easily. So I might want to even create a crafting recipe for those guys. Oh, dang it. So let's go back. And, oh, I just wanted to see if I had any of these cores. Oh, good. Look, I do. I have 2 of them. Excellent. So I think these are just glass, any old glass. Yeah, there we go. We have everything we needed already. Sweet. And then we'll go ahead and make the thin guy. Excellent. Okay, so there's our interface. Let's go ahead and connect it real quick and take a look to see if this is going to even work. And we'll just put it on the back of this guy for right now, I guess. Because we can move it if we need to. And then we just need another cable. Yep, that looks good. To connect it, and we are good. And you can see it. I don't think, yeah, this doesn't need power because this interface is, oh, what did it do? It changed color. It was sort of lit up for a minute, and now it's not. Maybe that means that it was syncing up to our ME system. Let's do something else real quick now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, darn, I should have thought about this originally. So let's go ahead and get rid of this guy. And let's move these guys. Because what I want to do is I want to put a terminal here. So even if we're over here and we want to craft something real quick, we'll have our terminal here. A crafting terminal. So let's do that and this, and then we just need a crafting terminal interface. And I'll probably have to create some more of those cores because I imagine it'll probably require some of those. ME crafting. Let's see. Come on, come on. You're very slow. There it is. That's fine. Yeah, but it does need two more of those. All right, so this is going to be a bit more crafting. So I'll do that off camera. That's not a big deal. Unless did I? Yeah, because I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have one already. Yeah, it would have popped up here. All right, well that's fine. So that was really great progress. I wasn't sure if we were gonna have enough materials to get over here, so that's terrific. I'm glad that worked out. And obviously, I'm gonna have to clean up a bit of a mess back there now, and put our frame back so we remember what's actually in this guy. There we go. I'll clean again, and then over here we'll have our crafting terminal. Yeah, that's probably a good spot for it, right next to all these materials. Doesn't hurt anything. Sweet. Okay, so let's see if it actually can see those materials over here now. So if I type in iron, I only have 11 iron. So that's not right. And diamonds? Yeah, I only have 1 diamond. Yeah, so it's not seeing it over there. Well, what chest did we connect it to? We connected it to the back of this guy. So we should see lots of redstone, right? So let's see if we see lots of redstone. And we're not even seeing lots of redstone. So I wonder, I must be missing something. Okay, well, I think I have the right idea, but maybe I did something wrong. I'm not completely sure. I'll just have to do a little bit of research, experimentation, and see what I did wrong. I think the idea is right. So I'm suspecting I probably just made an error somewhere. I don't think there's a distance limitation on these cables. I don't think it's that. It must not be the interface. It might be one of these guys, you know, not the export bus, but probably like the import bus. It's probably this guy, something like that. Yeah, no, I'm not sure. Because it would be kind of cool if I had an interface over there and I wanted to do crafting from using some of those items. I could put patterns down there and do so. So I thought that was right, but I don't know. Okay, well, I'll figure that out and we'll talk about it next episode. Or if you have any ideas what I did wrong, please leave those in the comment section below, and I will definitely check right away and see, check your feedback and see what I might have done wrong, and figure out what this is. So I think the idea is proper, but I must have made an error. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please consider giving it a like. I would really appreciate that. Definitely leave your comments in the comment section below. And thank you very much for joining me. Really glad to have you. So bye-bye, everybody, and I'll see you in the next episode.